just hang on, hang on, just 1 minute. I know you want to hear this song. My goodness, it's one of the best songs in the world, right? And of all times. Even I can't fuck this up, right? With my limited capabilities, the cheapest guitar in the world, right? But, well, let me introduce myself first. My name is Johan Lemke. I'm German. Jawohl. I call myself Europe's cab driving writer. For I had worked as a cab driver in 3 countries, England one of them, of course, and written books about it or blogged. Also, I never get tired to mention it, a 6th volume to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams's most famous book. Although by doing so, I kind of piss off a lot of people. Well, that's probably why I do this anyway. Namely the guys who hold the rights to the books, the twats. But unfortunately, all of the fans too. But to write a sequel to a famous book does not automatically make you famous yourself. Let me tell you that. The UK film industry is not supporting me. Thank you, you buggers. I am now 56, still not famous. And it is 40 years ago that I hold a guitar in my hands for the very first time. But this song was always in my ears since I first heard it. It's just like it said in one of its own verses. It's written on the wind. It's all around us, right? And now I finally got round to play this song. To me, it is really love fulfilled. Feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes. Love is all around me, and so the feeling grows. Just one more minute, one more minute. Okay, you want to hear the song and not me talking bullshit? Toss him from a cliff, the tosser. And you will hear it, I promise. Yet, I just want to mention there is kind of a familiarity in this song for me. Because, it is obviously about a guy who is madly in love with a girl. Well, definitely a girl, because the guy sings this song. And it was back in the old days, not in the days of Love Actually, the movie, where you more and more have to defend your right to be straight, not gay. Anyway, madly in love he is, but this girl is kind of, he says they gave their promises to each other and he will always love her. There is no beginning nor end to this love of his, which is kind of a really huge love, no doubt, but where actually is this said bonny lass? For he says, if you really love me, come on and let it show, right? So obviously, she is not that much actually showing it. And so he lay on his bed, the poor guy, with her face before him, but he is pretty much by himself, because she is just the fuck not there. Probably screwing around with some other guy, who's not a poor singer-songwriter whining about all the miserable things happening in his little shit life, but a rich bastard with a lot of fun. So he is kind of thinking of the things she said, namely all the promises that she would be on his side, but why the fuck isn't she, right? So, like I said, this very much reflects on my own life. Because 10 years ago, there was this girl with whom I was madly in love, but she kind of freaked. She was kind of, a bit complicated anyway, if not to say completely mental. And so that didn't work, and I lay down many a times on my bed, needing someone beside me and everything I did. But she just wasn't there. She was screwing with some other guy, etc. Yet now it just keeps on going like this for some weird reason. Weird. The weird ways of acting of Jim Carrey. Then I was a really young lady. Well, perhaps that's part of the problem why she doesn't want to see me, old sodding bastard, right? Just writing to me online. But then again, that was why she felt attracted to me in the first place, right? It's not just old farts that feel attracted to young tards, right? But also the young tards who feel attracted to the old farts. Because they are so old farty and cozy, right? They're not young hotheads having to prove themselves all the time. Well, anyway, she gave me her promise and I gave her mine, but again, where the fuck is she when I lay on my bed kind of thinking of the things she said? So I dedicate the song to her. And that's why all this is subtitled in German, because the girl is German as I am, jawohl. And 80 million others, by the way, who I do no longer want to betray by excluding them by doing stuff in English language alone. We are colonized enough as it is, and I no longer add up to that, no sorry. Anyway, hallo meine kleine Tanja Maus, wie geht es dir? Musch, musch, musch. Dieses Lied ist für dich, mein Häschen. You gave your promise to me and I gave mine to you. I need someone beside me in everything I do, okay? Wir kennen uns nun schon seit 3,5 Jahren und du, kleine Maus, willst mich immer noch nicht sehen? What the fuck? Well, perhaps this love of mine is truly one of these impossible loves which are depicted in Love Actually, the movie, because in order to get the message through, alright, that really love matters and not rational thinking, like to make a bargain, as in an ordinary marriage, when a man works and his wife spends all his money. Here it is impossible love, like a married boss with his secretary. A modern Cinderella story. A simple girl from a dodgy neighborhood gets the prime minister, just because she charms him with her youth, big ass, and heartwarming simplicity, and a really sexy Eastern way of saying pissed. 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 A best man at the wedding, hopelessly in love with the bride, 2 actors of a cheap skinflake that fell in love while they were awkwardly acting naked on camera, awkward as ass. A sexually frustrated Brit, well, one of many, discovers all he need do is go to America and get all the hottest American young female actresses of 2003 line up for him. 2 people who love each other madly, but don't come together because of her attachment to her mentally ill brother. 2 kids, aged only 10, and one of the best and most touching stories, the 2 people who don't speak a word of the other's language spend a lot of time together out of necessity, then part, only to meet again later, when they have, out of love, learned the other's language to declare their love to each other. Really touching, I must admit, and perfectly directed too. Mise en scène, like the French say. Je t'adore, shut the door, shut the window, whatever. Well, so nicely done is this movie altogether that it makes you almost forget the cheeky way. You know, how you warm up an old mega hit that sold millions back then into a new one, making more millions out of nothing. Just like the banks, right? Making money out of nothing, right? Anyway, well, the simple trick to make this work and not totally piss off people thinking it's just a warm-up is by just making fun of someone warming up an old mega hit to earn millions with it again. Well, people are, well, not stupid, but they're just not clever enough. I mean, the cheek of it. It is like someone robbing you. It's like the banks, really. And you kind of help even to applause to it because of the skillful way you beat the other girls to the bride bouquet. Sorry. The skillful way the thief has acted. Enough jumps to the left. But what links it all together is love, actually. Even if it is impossible love sometimes. Simply because the greatest love isn't always a happy one. Not necessarily. It can turn out quite miserable. Well, it happened a lot to me. But still it is love, deeply felt. And the most important thing is to recognize, to understand that love is written on the wind. It's not concrete or metal. It comes and sometimes goes with a breeze. It doesn't necessarily stay for long, never forever. Although when we are happily in love, we wish for it, and we say, or sing, that our love will be forever. Well, it won't. Well, when you're dead, you ain't loving no more, son. So I truly had the shit kicked out of me by love, like one of the quotes from the movie, but I am able to love again because love is a part of us living beings. Like the air that we breathe, love is all around us. And now, one of the greatest songs ever made, in a humble cover version, but still, love is all around. No interruptions this time, I promise. Feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes. Love is all around me, and so the feeling grows. It's written on the wood, it's everywhere I go. So if you really love me, come on and let it show. You know I love you, I always will. My mind is made up by the way I feel. There's no beginning, there'll be no end. 'Cause on my love you can depend. I see your face before me as I lay on my bed. I kinda get a thinking of all the things you said. You gave a promise to me, and I gave mine to you. Now I need someone beside me in everything I do. You know I love you, I always will. My mind is made up by the way I feel. There's no beginning, there'll be no end. 'Cause on my love you can depend. I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes. Love is all around me, and so the feeling grows.